Good evening, everyone. Welcome to BNR. It's the formidables. Oh, Avi Buta Charaye. Standard Liverpool win, and he's got a face on. What's up with you now? Go on. Before I start, what's up here? Why have you got a face on? Moo Charaye like somebody's punched you a couple of times. We're all happy this guy's got a face on.
This is how I feel. It was at my company's Christmas party yesterday, so I'm just a bit hungover. But I'm good. I'm happy. Of course I'm happy, yeah.
Yeah, but then you started the show. You know this mooka day. I'm thinking, what the hell's wrong with this guy?
I'm happy. Look, we won. My brother came on. Good cameo. He goes to the AFCON. He will win the AFCON and he will come back as a champion.
I thought you upset with John Cena. I mean, that was the question that the admin put up. What are you upset about more, John Cena or Salah?
Now look, John Cena, what he gave to the business of fake wrestling, whatever you guys want to call it, he gave 20 years.
You set him off now.
But it was time. It was time for him to hang up the boots and go into Hollywood as he's done already. And look, it was a very sweet moment. It was very good to see Mohamed Salah yesterday come on as well. So hopefully tensions have calmed down and he gets to enjoy and participate in the one competition that kind of eludes him. So yeah. All good, all in all, Gene. Thank you for asking.
As long as you're happy, that's the main thing. Ben, you were out partying. Was it? Where have you been this weekend? I'm sure you were in Manchester.
Yes, I was looking forward to going the game. Actually, I did get a chance to go, but it was too tight a call because I was in Manchester for our work's Christmas party. And yes, the party was lovely. It was a really good night, but it was made a lot better by the fact that Red's done the business against Brighton. Really good performance in general in the context of where we're currently at. I know a lot of people in the ultras are like, it wasn't that good. It wasn't brilliant, and it wasn't. And there was issues still, as we know. Brighton had good chances, probably could have or should have scored at least one themselves. But you know what? As I say, in the context of where we're at and context of where our season is, we're not just going to go into full what's called fast mode in one go. We've got to build, and that was as good a performance in the circumstances as we could have expected. So yeah, I'm a happy chappy.
Asim, you returned to Anfield yesterday, man. It feels like must have been a while. How was it, man?
And that's why we won.
Listen, I've got 100% record this season.
I bring the blessing. I don't think this was believe it or not, Gene, this was the first time I went to Anfield this season.
Oh, you went to away games, innit?
I've only been to 2 games this season. Newcastle away and yesterday. That's it, because I didn't go to the first game. No Bournemouth. I went to the pre-season games.
Oh, yes, you missed
them, but yeah, Preston away, yeah. But yeah, I missed it.
Commitment to BNR in full flow.
Holy bolo yar. Kasam.
Oh, shut up, you.
Anyway, forget him. Just you might have to take day off.
Take the day off, man. Please. If you can't handle your drink, just stay away. Simple.
Did your camera go with you, Asim?
Of course. I had to charge it. I forgot my. You can tell I've not been to Anfield a lot this season because I even forgot my battery pack. I had to stop at Cavendish Street and buy a £20 battery pack. But yeah, it was good. I missed Anfield. You always miss Anfield. It still smells the same. It still feels the same. And you know what? The team won, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, look, to be fair, it was actually good to be back. Back in the ground. It's a completely different feeling. Being there, and you get behind the lads.
Did you get jumped yesterday? People are looking for you, man.
Am I gonna get jumped, man? What's wrong with you? Listen, I say the cop. I don't care. Nothing's happening to me. That's one thing for sure. We're copites, man. Nothing. No.
Oh yes, look at that. Look at that bulb. Look at that bulb. I couldn't find that bulb.
Listen,
but look at that, man. Oh,
before we start, yeah.
Look at the shine.
If it wasn't for me, I would have be quiet. If it wasn't, we would have had to put up a message saying anybody that's got an issue with strobe lighting, please turn off because his light was flashing like this before the show started. So first and foremost, guys, before we start the show, smash that like button. Let's start off the show with at least 100 likes and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. Avi, I'll come to you first because you're under the weather. Oh,
Is he?
Buddy's giving him shit.
Oh, here we go.
Buddy's after him. Avi, I said I'll come to you first.
God.
Yeah. Liverpool win, we all win. I think yesterday was one of them, Avi. You know what? Everybody walked out of that ground happy. Salah was back. Salah played, 60 plus whatever minutes it was. Liverpool won, clean sheet. Look, we'll go into the game, but come on. After the what we've been through over the last week, to get 3 points, especially with everything that's gone on, was massive.
Yeah, and look, it was going to be always a tricky game. Look, I predicted us to lose on Friday's show, so it was good to get off to a flying start. I want to talk about two players, and then we'll come on to the Salah stuff and everything else afterwards. First of all, Hugo Ekitike. He looks as though he's the 150 million pound player. He looks as though he's the one who's played in the Premier League for a couple of seasons, because this season he's the forward that's really producing, and off the ball, on the ball, his link-up play, the way he brings others into play, he's an absolutely brilliant player, and he's a joy to watch. And it helps being French. It really does. Whether they're born with it or they talk about it in school, they own it, they front it, and he's just got that. I keep saying it, he's got that French arrogance and the ego, and you just know he's going to succeed. He backs himself in corners. He backs himself. He's up for a fight. Yes, we saw it against Burnley away this season. There's a couple of games. There was a little bit of a spell where he's found it tough, and he's still adjusting to the Premier League. But the last two Premier League games, Leeds away, and then yesterday at home, the finishes, he's very instinctive. And yesterday, Gomez wins that header, and the way he takes that, absolutely brilliant, Gene. His overall gameplay, he's shades ahead of Alexander Isak. And that's not me saying that Isak's finished, or I've got doubts about Isak, because I don't. Isak will be a 30-goal a season man at Liverpool, whether it's this season or seasons to come. He will be that guy. But Hugo Ekitike, he's made a huge impression. And look, I think all of us were a bit skeptical when we first bought him. I know, Gene, just saying it, he wasn't your ideal choice because you wanted Isak, which is fine. But he wasn't my ideal choice as well. I saw him against Spurs for Frankfurt. He got a good goal.
Asim, please.
Scored a good goal.
I was going to defend Gene there. To be fair to Gene,
let me finish.
He coined the term Ekitike.
No, he goes Ekitike, Shitike. I don't want anyone like that.
No.
That's what he said. I've got the proof. You got the proof.
I think Avi's trying to say another thing.
He goes Ekitike, Shitike, Pulida. That's what he
was.
No.
Avi has to defend him. I have to defend him.
Those were your words. You defend him anyway. He's your brother. You defend him anyway.
Of course, we defend our own, isn't
Let's
it?
not go there.
I defend you as well. I always defend you. I lost friendships. I lost friendships because of you, but it's okay.
You deserve to lose those friendships.
What?
No, but honestly, Hugo Ekitike, Gene, he's made a huge impression. And the other one, Curtis Jones. Look, we've gone back and forth a bit of tongue-in-cheek over the years. I think our first interactions were Emil Smith Rowe or Curtis Jones. But look, Curtis Jones has surprised me of the player that he's become, an all-round player. His touch, his give and goes. He's quicker this season. He's setting the tempo this season. He's not dwelling on the ball. He's got a bit more confidence. He's playing with flair. And he's a European player, by the way. He is not an English player. You do not put him in that. You do not think of, and when you think of English players, you do not think of a Curtis Jones. He's got that European flair about him. And you can see why the likes of Thomas Tuchel, the likes of Lee Carsley, when he had a little stint at England and even in the under-21s, you can see why Jurgen rated him. You can see why Arne Slot thinks highly of him. Just stay fit. Stay fit and remain consistent, because we've got one hell of a player. He's coming into that age now, 25 to 30. These are your twilight years. Shine, because you could become one of the all-timers at Liverpool Football Club. And the midfielders that have graced that pitch, the Mobys, the McDermotts, the Souness's, the Gerrards, the Alonsos, Curtis Jones, Emlyn Hughes. Curtis Jones can be spoken of in the same breath if he gives us the next 4 or 5 years of consistency and keeps at this level.
Ben, I want to stick to Hugo Ekitike. I think obviously, look, it was a massive performance from him. 2 goals, and I think one of the biggest things that I have to give the lad credit for is deep down he knew Liverpool were going to sign £130 million number 9 in Alexander Isak. Yet the guy still wanted to come. The guy still wanted to sign for Liverpool, signed for Liverpool. And, the competition that he was up against, you're arguably talking one of the best strikers in the world at the start of the season. And yet he took on the fight and he's gone on to prove what an unbelievable footballer he is.
Yeah, he's done really well. Done really, really well. And, everyone expected him to probably be the third sort of most successful forward that we signed this summer. And he's currently the first most successful forward that we signed this summer. He's a strange player, actually. He's got huge potential. He's got a lovely long stride on him. He seems to just gallop away from players with ease. But then at the same time, he also looks a little bit ungainly when he's when he's turning tight and turning against a man. His decision-making still a little bit questionable at the moment, but I think that's fully expected for a young player, especially one, I think he has got that much immaturity about him still. He'll shoot when he should pass, he'll pass when he should shoot, all of those usual caveats. He's showed the petulance early on in the season when he took his shirt off. So he's got that youthful naivety about him, but he's got raw ability. And if you can tone that and hone it, and you can adapt it and coach it and get the best out of it, you've got a proper striker. And one with real pedigree as well, who could be a mainstay in the French team. He could be a mainstay in this World Cup. Up until he signed for Liverpool, a lot of people were like, well, he's only had, what was it, something ridiculous, like 40, 50 competitive games or something at his age, not played for the French national team, and he could be starting at the World Cup this summer, and that just shows you how quickly things can turn around for someone's career. So yeah, he's done really well. He's done really, really well. I still think, as I say, it'll be a challenge for him when we do get the real Isak, because we have to assume that we will get the real Isak at some point in the future, whether it's even this season at this current state. But I think it will be a challenge for him to be able to be part of a rotational system, because I just don't see how they start together on a regular basis unless we're going to go in a completely different direction. But there aren't that many world-class teams in recent history that play two number nines up front. It's very much a dying art, isn't it? It's very much one central striker and two wide men. I think that's probably what Slot's ideal selection is long term still. So I think the idea is that it's going to be one of Isak or Ekitike and the other one dovetailing and then in reverse. So, but while Isak is nowhere near his level, and let Ekitike just completely stretch his legs and and give us everything he can got, and long may it continue. It was a superb performance. Took his first goal really well, Torres-esque. And then his second goal, it was again really, really good. And I think his little celebration after it was a bit like, just chill out, just calm down. I don't know what you guys thought. Maybe there was a few sort of not like rumblings in the crowd, but he'd had 2 or 3 really good chances before that, hadn't he? And squandered them, maybe not made the right pass or missed a shot. Yeah. And I think he was probably saying, you know what, just chill out, people. I'll score the goals. You just keep backing me and I'm with them. He has got that sort of ego, arrogance about him, which is a bit French, I think, is it? If I'm not too fair for saying that, he does back himself from that perspective. But as I say, you know what, he's our only fit and firing striker at the moment. So let's get behind him.
I think, Gene, I personally, I don't know, I don't want to speak for anybody else. I think I personally don't owe him an apology, but I think I did think he's gonna look. You told me you're gonna be on your best behavior, so be quiet. I didn't think he's this good, but if I'm really honest, I don't think anyone thought he's this good. I think we knew that he's neat and tidy. I only watched him in a full game once away to Tottenham, and I could see he's neat and tidy. I could see he likes to float around from the left-hand side. But I think the manager mentioned it after the game that he's just getting to the grips of the physicality of the league. I think for the previous month and a half, or even before, more than that as well, he could only last around about 60 minutes and then he'd get cramp. But he's around 75, 80 minutes mark at the moment and still gets cramp. So he just tells you how much more improvement he can make just in a physical sense. But the way he shifts gears, Gene, I had a close look at him. Like I said, for the first time, I went to Anfield yesterday and I got a real good view of him changing shift, especially changing gears, especially in the first half where Baleba, as we've all mentioned, he's no slouch, are eating up ground, and he shifted past him. And before you know it, he's got 2 yards on Baleba. And 2-3 times, again, Donk obviously is not the quickest defender, where, just like Ben mentioned, Torres-esque, where he just can push it and kick it ahead of you and stride and glide past you. And
Asim, just on that acceleration, you know, I didn't think he had it. I tell you, when I saw that bit of acceleration, albeit it was a friendly, it was the last friendly at Anfield against Atletico Bilbao, where he sets up Salah's goal. Salah scored in the friendly.
yes,
That showed me he's got the acceleration. But yes, there was a prime example where we saw it a lot more as well. So
even in the Galatasaray game, was it Frankfurt game? Sorry, where Robertson played a brilliant ball, and you just see him go. You think, wow! And this is the beauty about this player, Chin, that he's got the technical ability, and he can connect with Curtis Jones and Florian Wirtz, and that's a feature, especially for Liverpool in the first half, where those 3 players, technically really gifted, and they get and recycle play and connect, and get themselves out of really tight spaces. But like I said, he's got the pace, and if he can be a real menace in settled play, he can be a transitional threat. I think the guy is going to be a superstar. And just to further that point, there's no surprise why our best players have been these technical players, but also got the legs. The likes of Curtis, the likes of Sobo, the likes of Ekitike. In a season where we're striving for control, these 3 players have outshone everybody. Is because they can cut it when it comes to settle play and connect play and short space passes. But when the game is stretched, where Liverpool opponents have tried to make the game stretch in long balls, these guys can go into no man's land and cut it out with the best, because they can roll the sleeves up, but also shift gears. And like I said, I'm not surprised. But if I'm really, and I know he's young, and I don't want to give him, like focus on the areas where he could improve. Where it's the irony is, where we've got a striker of Isak, and I remember that game where I was up in the clouds at Newcastle and was watching Isak, where he shifted it to the right of Van Dijk that day and didn't let Van Dijk settle, and Kelleher. It was a first-time shot, Allah. And I thought, you know what? If Ekitike can get that into his game, he's going to be a superstar as it is. If he gets that and develops that, because I think he's a player where he gets into the box, side foot finishes, just like that finish where he did against Tottenham, the first one in the Charity Shield against Crystal Palace. That is going to be, I think, his type of finish, default finish. If he can lace a few, shift it to the right, and Isak-esque or Torres-esque, I think he's going to be a real. He's already a brilliant player, but he's going to be really, really scary. And it reminds me of you guys said Torres, but I think he's a hybrid of Benzema, where he connects play, gets out of tight spaces, brings other people into the game, and then he's got the Torres-esque pace and that directness as well. Yeah, the maturity will come, but I think this guy is performing is purely down to his mentality. Skill obviously it helps, but I think his mentality at the moment, he's showing that, you know what, I'm the man. And that moment where he took the shirt off was just the first reminder saying, look, you guys have all been talking about the big signing, the 125 million signing, but you spent 90 million on me, remember, as well. And I'm just as good, or if not better. This guy does not deserve to be rested 1 minute at the moment, regardless of what our long-term plans are for Isak. This guy needs to start every single game. And the only time he needs to come off is when he gets cramp.
And so just coming on that as well, and we've been mentioning his physicality, and there was games earlier in the season where he just didn't look up for the fight. But last 3-4 weeks, he's been showing his sort of strength as well. Like he's going against the defenders. Leeds was no easy test, by the way. Brighton was no easy test, with the Van Heckers and the physicality of them. But now he's standing up a lot more. He's pushing people off. He's willing to go 50-50. He's willing to go sort of like mano a mano and challenge for balls and in the air. So it's a great trait to see. And look, he's improving all the time. And look, he's a frightening prospect. God forbid when he's 25, 26, because he'll really
Avi. 100%. Ben, I wanted to come to you. Obviously, Avi mentioned 2 players. Ekitike was one, and the second was obviously Curtis Jones, who, again, an unbelievable performance from him. You know, we've to be fair to Asim, he's mentioned it in terms of one of the Curtis Jones is going to have to drop into into the back line, into the pockets, into the left back, right back areas where he was able to build up. Within a minute or two of the game, you saw Curtis Jones just drop in and start dictating play. And honestly, I was in the COP. Obviously, we were in the first half. You know, in terms of defensive duels, you saw it straight away. Left hand side, he was receiving the ball and starting Liverpool, basically starting Liverpool's attacks from the back. And even if you came near him, he's too good of a footballer for you to press. He's press resistant. He's good enough because he's able to progress the ball into the midfield. And it was a joy to watch because we've been watching us just bloody hoof the ball on numerous occasions over many a time this year. But it was such a nice watch being able to, you know what, say, we've got a player who's actually good enough to play out. And on top of that, Ben, when we were especially in the first half, I felt when we were pressing, Curtis Jones was like the first man that was pressing their defense. And I was thinking, bloody hell, this guy must do some serious mileage in terms of his setback when we need it, in terms of build-up, yet he's pressing so high at the same time. That is an unbelievable characteristic for any player who's able to do both at the same time. Your thoughts on his performance yesterday, mate?
Yeah, he was very good. He was very good. He's a really interesting topic of conversation, I think, Curtis Jones. He's a very, very talented player. Obviously broke into the team when he was only like 20 odd or something like that, maybe even younger. And he obviously came through the youth ranks and was very much a left-sided attacking player, a very creative player. And he's been sort of toned and honed into a much more of a diverse, you know, ball retention sort of almost defensive midfielder, to be honest. My thing with Curtis Jones is, again, he's a really, really talented lad. But I think I'd like to think now he might have smelled blood here a little bit. He might have seen McAllister is very much having a season of indifference at the moment. He's seeing that Gravenberch is not quite the level he was last season, and Szoboszlai is obviously on a great level, but Szoboszlai is playing everywhere but his position, so he's not really a threat. So I think Jones is probably sensing the idea that, and you know what, I wonder whether or not Jones is even in the back of his mind looking at Tuchel and thinking Tuchel's not got no sort of any sort of preconceptions of a midfielder. He's picking players on merit, on performance, and on standards. And then the idea that Bellingham just walks into the team, for example, because he's Bellingham, is being completely quashed by the fact that he's got Rodgers and Elliot Anderson, etc., who are in there on merit. And he's thinking, you know what? With my diversity, my ball retention, I might just be able to sneak into the back door here of the squad. Yeah. So it's all to play for. The biggest problem we've had with Jones is his fitness. You know, he plays for a month and then we lose him for a couple of weeks. So I think if he can stay fit between now and the end of the season, I agree with Avi in that he's definitely got something to prove. My only other big problem with Curtis Jones is his output. I want to see. You know, you want to see more assists. You want to see more goals from him. His decision-making still sometimes can be a little bit like frustrating. You know, he'll pick the wrong pass. Sometimes he makes the wrong decision as well. He backs himself, though, like that little move he did in his own box in the second half where he just kept on turning Rutter inside out. I think we're all hearts and mouths thinking, just put your foot through it. But he was having none of it. He was, and that's the best sort of version of Curtis Jones that we want to see, one that's in complete control. And I think it's a Curtis Jones that knows he's starting at the moment as well. Yeah. And that does definitely show within a player when the confidence is in them. We saw it in Gravenberch last year, in that he knew he was on the team sheet and that was flowing through his veins. And we're seeing that with McAllister, with Jones now. And it'll be really interesting, actually, when there is another forward option available, whether or not Jones keeps his place ahead of McAllister. Because at the moment, he's getting all four of them in the team because we're limited on forward options. But soon as Gakpo's back or soon as Isak's fit, then there'll be a decision to make. And let's hope that Jones does enough to keep that place.
There's no way you can drop him on this form. There's no 100%. Way you can drop him.
No, I don't think you can. No.
McAllister walks out. Simple, Avi.
He's been a catalyst for our last 5 games unbeaten. Look, he was great at Inter. To yesterday, Brighton, and people were saying it was anti-football on Wednesday. Well, it wasn't anti-football yesterday. And Jones is the heartbeat right now, along with the Szoboszlai. Gravenberch has picked it up as well, but Jones, everything's going through him. And the closer that you have him and Florian Wirtz playing like within a few feet of each other, that's where Liverpool will start creating it, Gene. That's where you'll see the real sort of next evolution, because they're close footballers. They're very close touch footballers. They need to be close within one another, like we used to see with Iniesta and Xavi. These two players, Jones and Wirtz, they're on the same intellectual level on the pitch. They're both brains. They know how to move the ball. They know how to recycle the ball. And the closer that they are on the pitch, the better it will be for this football club.
Avi, I'm going to stay with you because I wanted to speak about a certain player who, to be fair to him, when he came in, we've absolutely blasted, especially over his first 10 games, first 10, 12 games at Liverpool. That's Milos Kerkez. You were a massive, huge fan of him from Milan days, and especially at Bournemouth. And you were like, he's the left back we can get. You can do this and you can do
Gene,
that.
I'm sorry, Gene. How can you?
No, one second, Asim, I'm finished. Let me finish.
Why
I
you?
can do this. And
I think I deserve it.
You got that sun coming out of your ass. You look after the sun behind your ass. Yeah, you look after that first and foremost.
I think I deserve a few words on Curtis Jones.
Let's have some. Oh, sorry. Go on, Asim. Go on.
Oh, yeah, am I going to every single player? Am I going to go to every single person?
No, Asim wants to go for the monologue.
20 players I'm going to go through, yeah?
Let Asim get his monologues.
For a player that I've been calling out, that, you know what, we don't have deep progression. We don't have a passer in the first line. Surely I'm allowed to sort of wax lyrical of how good he was. And Gene was at the game, and the first thing that Gene came out to me and said, you know what, actually, he rang me when he was going to the car, and he said, you know, for most of the game, especially first half, Curtis Jones was left back. And there is no surprise. I tweeted it at halftime. There's no surprise why we look better in build-up is because we have a footballer. Brighton are very, very aggressive. The likes of Rutter and the number 10 Gruder, I think his name is that, you know, they're very aggressive. They go man-to-man as well. But when Curtis Jones and Van Dijk are in that first line, they think, oh, for fuck's sake, it's a footballer. Yeah, he probably did a few, Johan Cruyff turns in the second half, even for my liking. Look, gave us a few heart attacks. That's probably, you know, the arrogance edging over. But we talked about the arrogance and the mentality and the responsibility for the last 3-4 interviews that he's been talking about. Obviously, that's the extra connection, you know, born and bred in Liverpool, that he feels there's an extra burden on him being the local lad to take us and bring us out of this rut. And I thought he was brilliant. For me, if Ekitike didn't get those goals, I think Curtis Jones for me was man of the match, especially first half, the way he connects and it gets the best out of Kerkez, and I'm sure Thingy will talk about him. But there is no coincidence and there's no surprise why Jurgen Klopp wanted this lad to replace Gini Wijnaldum in the midfield. We all saw him as a younger guy come through the academy, that famous goal that he scored against Everton, cutting him from the left-hand side, on paper starting on the left. And I think, Avi will correct me if I'm wrong, his main sort of role in the academy was coming from that left and playing the Coutinho role, if you like. But Gini Wijnaldum, there's a guy that when he left, he didn't get the respect, for me, in my opinion, when he was at that club. And for me, Ben talking about output, I'm not going to judge Curtis Jones on output in terms of assists and goals. When he plays that deep and his responsibility is to make play from those deep positions, I'm going to judge him on progression through a pass. For me, that is output because he's so deep. And then he's got the legs to join the attack and do his little stuff on the edge of the opponent's box as well. But honestly, I think, and there's a question here, Asim, did he ever replace Gini? The only reason why he didn't replace Gini was because of fitness. You're telling me he doesn't have the skill?
He ain't like going back that.
No, that is one thing that he doesn't have. Like, for example, he does have the counter press when he's facing play, even 5-10 yards going the other way. Does he eat up ground for a guy who has got legs in a general sense? No, he's not like Anderson, where if you got an underlapping or overlapping fullback, where he'll go and chase. It was like Declan Rice, where you'll see him slide tackle in our own box just to put it out for a corner. He's not that type of player because he's got so much other gifts on the ball and on the ball traits to give to provide for. But in a footballing sense and control the game, I think he is a real asset. And again, for a guy who is seen polarized over the fan base over the last 3-4 years because of his fitness. Everybody who talks about Curtis Jones never talks about Has he got the talent? But has he got the body? And let's all pray that he's got the body this year and then seasons to come as well.
Avi, we're going to hold the thought on Milos Kerkez. We'll bring him in because I wanted to bring this super chat up, and obviously he's mentions another player in there. And I thought, you know what, we'll go into him. I'll come to you. He goes, Good Jones has become indispensable. Him and Wirtz have a very high footballing IQ. And let's stick to Wirtz then, because I thought, you know, obviously Matty's brought it up as well. And I thought, you know, I was at the game. I saw Wirtz in flesh again this season. I thought he had a tidy first half. And then I thought, obviously, second half, I didn't think he was involved much in the second half. And then obviously he got taken off at half time. Sorry, in the second half, I think around the 75th minute, he got taken off. But are we finally beginning to see a version of Wirtz where we're beginning to see some sort of footballer? Because, look, it's easy to judge a number 10 on goals and assists, right? So if we're going to judge a 10 on the goals and assist, me and you are going to sit here and absolutely blast him, right? But have you seen enough over the course of this season to say, number one, yes, I think this guy is the player, right? Number one. And number two, he still needs to buckle up, Avi, and get going, because he still hasn't really got going. We all know that. His numbers aren't great. If anything, they're shocking. Let's all be honest. But your thoughts on Wirtz overall, yes, for his performance yesterday and overall, and where do you see him being in like a couple of months' time?
Look, if you're asking me, does he have the stomach for a big game? I saw it against Arsenal that he does. I thought against Arsenal earlier in the season, he was very, very good. We've seen glimpses. Yesterday, tidy, nothing more than that. Tidy, good work. Shrugged off a few players. A lot more sort of strengthy about him. I know that's not a word, but a lot more strengthy about him. But at the end of the day, a player of that ilk, a player who's cost over 100 million, is going to be ultimately judged by numbers. It's a numbers game. That's you can say that's fickle to think that way, but it's true. He should be a 15-15 man. 15 goals a season, 15 assists in all competitions. That's what he has to be. As soon as he gets that first goal or assist in the Premier League, once he gets that off the duck, Gene, I think it will then be a flurry, and then he will really get into his groove. And I think this subconsciously sometimes you just become like overall a bigger player as soon as you get off the duck. And yes, we saw it against the deflection against Sunderland, and we thought, okay, these were his really charges on. I still think maybe after January, that's when we'll see his his best work. But look, it's getting better for him, Gene. We can't just sit there and say, look, because he hasn't got the numbers, you know, we should be in doubt that he's going to be a flop. And, you know,
he hasn't got the numbers, Avi. He's nowhere near the numbers. That's really expected from a guy. You spend 1 second. When you spend 116 million, look, I have to be devil's advocate here. When you spend 116 million pounds, 100, well, that's what we've been told, right? On a footballer, a number 10, who's got one assist this season, right? What 17, 18 games in the league, 16 games that we've played in the league, plus you're talking the Champions League games. That is diabolical, and that's the simple truth, guys. We can't sugarcoat this any other way. But the truth is that that's diabolical numbers. But the truth is, I think I've seen enough when I've seen him play this season that thinks this guy can do it. You know, he's coming to a side that's struggling. You know, these changes that are going on, the players are not on it. Even the older players that were here last season, they've not been on it. And there's been a lot of issues in the background as well, which haven't suited him. Maybe he doesn't have the players around him to really, really flourish. You know, a proper quick winger, a midfielder who's able to pass the ball quickly to him. It's still there's still a massive question mark on his name, Avi. Yeah,
Gene, he's creating around 2-3 good chances per game. Now, it's not his fault. Yesterday, that Ekitike, the way he takes it first touch, that could have gone in on another day. That would have been a beautiful, sublime playing and there's a little bit of intricacy before Wirtz lays it off to Ekitike, and Ekitike tries to bend it first time. There's been chances where he has created, Gene. I think he created the most chances in the Champions League. The chances that he created for Gakpo in the second half against Leeds. And Gakpo fluffs his lines. The keeper makes a good save, but I thought Gakpo should have done a lot better. He's been unlucky, but our best work has gone through him as well. We can't forget about that. Yes, it's a numbers game, Gene. The numbers will come. But right now, I am seeing a better, consistent, durable Florian Wirtz. And at the moment, and I've been critical. I've been saying, look, he has looked weak. He has looked weak in games. Against some oppositions, he's just been shrugged off like feather. I think the numbers will come. We just need to give it a little bit more time. But look, I do expect the numbers.
When would you draw that? Where do you draw that line, Avi? Because you say numbers will come.
I said, look, if we're winning, if we go on a run now and he's been in the team and he's not scoring and assisting, you don't drop him, do you?
No, I agree. But I'm asking you.
But the truth of the matter is, what Gene says.
Because you say
I have to ask the hard question.
You draw the line, Asim, if we have a poor season, if we finish up the Champions League places in the Premier League, if we finish 6th or 7th and we don't win the European Cup, then yeah, of course, massive questions have to be asked. But Wirtz is a player you don't sell him after a season. You've got to give him time. You've got to give him a year, at least a year. He's coming from a new league. He is 22. It's night and day. We've seen it with previous players that have come to the Premier League, the likes of Jadon Sancho, who have taken the Bundesliga like duck to water, but come to the Premier League and have struggled wherever they've gone, whether it's Chelsea, whether it's doing a stint now at Aston Villa, or whether it's been at United, they've struggled. So we've got to give it time. But after January, I expect, he's close. He's close to having an assist on his name or assists. He's close to scoring a goal. He is nearly there. And I'm pretty sure, before Christmas, before the new year, we'll be talking about Florian Wirtz scoring his first official goal for Liverpool Football Club.
Yeah, it was a very good point that Asim made about Jones when I said about you want to see more output from him. And he's like, well, really, the deep lying position that he's in means that the progression is the output. Whereas you can't really say that for Florian Wirtz because you have to judge him on output. Really good However, I will say that I can think of 7, 8, 9 circumstances this season when he's put the ball on a plate for players and they've not took the chance. Like, you think of the ones against for Salah earlier on in the season. I think a couple against Arsenal. I think of that one that he rolled across the box for Szoboszlai perfectly, or waited on us, and Szoboszlai, the keeper, saved it. So there's loads of those where 0 or 1 assists could be 6 or 7 assists comfortably now. If we're being, the thing that we're probably missing and we should be seeing more of is his goal return. He hasn't really, you wouldn't say that he was like, oh my word, he should have scored there, because he hasn't really had that many chances. So that's probably positional wise. Is he not making those runs into the box? He's not being freed up. I think one thing that has been made a really interesting point I was at a Match of the Day or Sky or something, is that he's trying to get involved in the games a lot. So he's floating all over the place. He's starting in a position, but he's actually going all over the place. And maybe he needs to do less movement and be a little bit more sort of disciplined and a bit more structured and say, right, okay, stay in those dangerous areas. I trust that the ball will come to you, and then you do something in the final third to either thread the ball through or have you shot yourself, because we haven't really seen him have that many shots at all. For all of Gakpo's sort of criticism, he has shot after shot after shot. So it's like he's making the opportunity to get those shots away, whereas we don't really see that from Florian at all. So tactically, I'd like to see him used a little bit smarter in the second half of the season. But generally speaking, there's touches and there's flashes of genius that you just think, wow, he is a special talent. And I just think he needs a bit of muscle and he needs a bit of bulk, but he's 2 or 3 passes ahead of some players sometimes. And I think you give him time to adapt and to adjust, I think he'll be an absolute superstar.
Asim, your thoughts on Wirtz?
Gene, I will speak about Wirtz, but you look like a guy that just wants to get something off your chest.
Look, I'm not here. Look, the thing with me is, I will say exactly how I feel right now. First and foremost about
we've been witness of that for many years,
and I can sense it. I can see it.
Look, Avi, didn't I not mention to you, Wirtz? 6 months before we signed him. I said,
Oh.
get me one player, Florian Wirtz.
You want
You
yes,
all
wanted him.
know that if I said I want one player, Florian Wirtz. So I'm a huge fan of him, right? And I genuinely still believe to this day that in the future we're going to see an unbelievable footballer. But if I'm to judge it from right now, I have to judge it from what I've seen right now, Ben. No, we have to go by what we've seen right now. Yes, we've seen glimpses that this guy's going to be brilliant. But if I'm honest, if I look at it right now, I haven't seen anywhere near the footballer I thought I was going to see in Florian Wirtz for the first 20 games in total that he's played for Liverpool Football Club in all competitions. He has to make a massive improvement. Yes, a touch of class here and there is good, but a touch of class here and there isn't enough.
Have we been naive to the fact that he needs time and he needs to adapt to the Premier League and from a physicality perspective,
I mentioned
as to the level of the Bundesliga compared to the level of the Premier League?
And I liken that to a player called David Silva, Ben. The first season he came, it took him a year to settle. Yeah, because he's that type of player. He loves the ball, wants to play the ball. He reminds me, not that he plays in the same sort of position, but that type of player who enjoys playing football. But you can't sugarcoat the numbers, Ben. When you're playing in a 10, we absolutely blasted Dominic Szoboszlai, saying, and his role was completely different to Florian Wirtz last season, saying his numbers are shit and shy. And we were defending him, saying, look, he does so much more for the team. But Florian Wirtz isn't brought into the team to do what Dominic Szoboszlai does. Florian Wirtz was brought into this team to put numbers on the board in terms of assists, to put goals and assists on the board and to connect sort of play. And I've not really seen it yet. And that is the honest. If you want me to give you an honest opinion, I think he's been a 3 out of 10 signing.
Wow.
What do you? Okay, so what does he mean?
3 out of 10.
I see where he's coming from, to be honest.
No. For what you expected from Florian Wirtz at the start of the summer, what is he? What has he been? 3? Okay, 4 months.
I think I agree with you. I think I agree with you. But
out of your fucking ass. Hold on, Ben.
But the mitigation is the team.
No, 3 out of 10. Listen, we're unbeaten in 5. We've been unbeaten in 5. He's created 25 big chances. You just put
25 chances, not big chances. One second. Go live with stats.
1 out of 10, boys. 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10.
See the chances he's created, and you're saying
1 second.
No. Just 1 minute. You
don't make me bring the fire, boys.
You're talking out of your ass. You're the same guy that said Fabio Cavalli for the Ballon d'Or.
Well, now you're talking about some. Now you're giving him slogans.
You've got to give him 6-7 months. You've got to let him settle, and he's settling now. He nearly scored that goal. That little trickery against Sunderland. He's nearly off and away.
I'm talking about right now. You're talking about nearly jobs, bro. I don't want nearly jobs. I want now.
You're trying to be another fan club member, like as if you're a United fan, Arsenal fan. You're representing Liverpool Football Club. It's the Liverpool fan channel. He's getting better. You've seen that he's getting better. It's almost as if, Salah's gone now. Let's pin it on Wirtz. That's what you're trying to do now.
What is this? I'm talking about Florian Wirtz. What's Salah got to do with anything?
You need to give him till May, June. Please, I've got a massive headache. Don't piss me off. Florian Wirtz will come good. You've got, you just said,
I've got a massive headache.
No, Ben, he just said David Silva for a season. So give it to a season. Why are you charging him now then? If you're prepared to give him a year.
There's plenty of examples of great players who were poor in their first season.
What do you want me to say about Florian Wirtz? What do you want me to exactly say about
Florian? You've seen he's getting better.
1 second.
You have seen he's getting fitter. He's more durable. Physically, he's adapting still.
Okay, now we're talking about fitness. Write him off. We're talking about fitness of our player nowadays.
You were writing off Kirkis, and look at Kirkis now. Last 3 games, he's coming to the fore. So have the same patience with Florian Wirtz.
I've got patience with him.
3 out of 10. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to take 3 out of 10. I am not going to take 3 out of 10. I am not going to take 3 out of 10.
All right, let's have the honest. Let's have the honest question. All of us. Let's have the honest question. This time next season, where is Florian Wirtz? Is he still at Liverpool for a start? And if he is, what's his goals and assists return roughly this time next season? I think he's still at Liverpool. I'll start, and I think he's on maybe 10 GA at this point.
He will end up with 5 goals this season in all competitions, 5 to 10, and he will get between 7 to 12 assists this season. He's still got 22 games left. We've still got a good chunk of Champions League games to play. You watch how he will turn it on. This guy's he's trying out of his arse. This is why he should never host He's an imbecile, this guy.
Gene, I think you've been very, very harsh with a 3 out of 10. Why? Because you miss a lot. I think a 3 out of 10 rating, it disregards all the context when it comes to Florian Wirtz. Has he justified what, before I say anything about him, has he justified in a just like a black and white sense his fee? Nowhere near. Nowhere near. But I think you can't just say like a generalized term like that, because he's come in, and I blame the manager for it as well, where first of all, he's thought he can upgrade on the number 10. And in the same way I backed, in the same type of analysis, I backed Dominic Szoboszlai and said, you're asking for output from a number 10 where you're expecting him to press from the front, get back in, cover at right wing, cover at right back. And now Florian Wirtz isn't expected to do that type of role, but he has still had a lot of off-the-ball responsibility. Then you think he hasn't had a proper striker up front. One day is Isak, one day is Ekitike, and then the right winger. We've had problems with the right winger. Then he got taken out of the position. He started playing in midfield with McAllister in a 4-4-2 at times, where Slot lost it at times. Then he moved him out to the wide in a diamond, in a little left half space. Whatever we played at Crystal Palace earlier in the season, I think you have to miss a lot of you miss a lot of context. He's coming to a struggling side. Let me land.
3 years is Chacha like Salah and Mecca. That's it, Chacha. That's what they are. 3 out of 10.
And Gene, I would be worried. And Ben was talking about that. He's got natural tendencies where he roams around. I've called him the positionless number 10 this season. Yes, those are his natural tendencies, but it's also been forced as well, where because we don't have the security and the control in games, where he's forced to go in real deep. Just look, I posted that heat map today in one of the threads. Now, you know, he's at times he's got a heat map of a central midfielder. Now, like I said, it's due to natural tendencies to roam around, but it's also because the likes of McAllister and these guys have not been press resistant enough, where we need to only not just give the build up one extra man, sometimes in some cases 2 extra men. So I think you are doing him a disservice, and I think it's harsh for 3 out of 10.
Okay,
and there's underlying numbers, Gene. He's still in this sort of season. If you go look at his underlying numbers for goal scoring actions and goal creating actions and shots, he still averages 90th percentile in the league. And for a guy who's not produced output in inverted commas in terms of assists and goals, those underlying numbers are very encouraging for me. One, where if he's got a striker who he finds the back of the net, he'll naturally improve. Also, if we start controlling games, and Bilal mentioned it, where a natural DM, I think, will help him. Where when have you seen, bar the Burnley game, Gene, where they just they just settled for a draw on that day, where he's just receiving the ball around the opposition's box. We just don't have the control. And that's what he was bought for the low block. And teams do park a bus, but we've lost so many in the last month, so many second balls where our defense and team as a whole is just turned around, where he has to go and win the second balls and act as a midfielder. Like, we didn't buy him at times. I look at him and think, where are you? You're in no man's land. And that, I think, is the context we miss sometimes. Yes, I repeat, has he surprised me that we haven't seen the best of him, or has he justified his fee? I'm very, very surprised. But I think you have to talk about the context.
The caveat to that.
Can I speak? No, you fucking spoken. No, Avi, you had your fucking 10 minutes talking about the speak now. Let me speak now. It's my turn to back my side.
Asim, the caveat to Chup Karma. You just shut up 1 minute. Asim,
that's a dirty word, man.
He's talking, yeah.
It's my turn to speak.
One at a time.
Asim, the caveat to that is, you said Wirtz is a plug and play. He should have been a plug and play.
If you buy someone for £120 million, you expect them to be plug and play, but nobody.
You did say that.
You gotta have them something to plug into, though.
When you play, and then there's a loose wire, a few loose wires like Liverpool have had this season.
I think what's going on? I think a 5.5.
No point putting a CD in a CD player when the flipping machine's broke.
Yeah, 5.5 or a 6 out of 10 is fair.
Best album of all time.
Gene, just on this, 5.5 or 6 out of 10 sabr karo is fine. 5.5, 6 out of 10 It's fine. He's come a long way.
6 out of 10.
It's still not good enough. We know that.
Fuck's sake.
But he's
You're
too-
giving
he's
Florian, if your guys are
10
going to sit here right now and give
Avi,
Florian
let him have his
6 out of
say.
10,
Let him have
I
his say.
fucking give up, bro. Honestly,
Yeah,
you
give
know
up.
what?
Go home.
You lot are, yeah, 1 second. Let me finish.
Nassau.
The start that we've seen 25 big chances is a lie.
Why?
The start was 25 chances created, not
Yes.
big chances created,
Yes.
right? 25 chances created. How many big chances has he created out of them 25? Yes, I can admit that, you know what? I don't know what that barometer is. I'm going by what the barometer is for everybody. So everybody's in the same barometer here, yeah? How many of them are big chances?
Well,
One.
he's
No,
90.
let me land now. You lot
Is
have
there
spoken.
one big chance?
Well,
No,
out of them, out of the
There won't be
barometer,
one big
I checked
chance.
it today. When you laid me and said, "Oh, he's done this. He's got 25 chances and he hasn't had an assist."
You've lost
because
your head. You've lost your head.
He's had one big chance. He has 0. Oxy, there you go. There's your answer. I think he's got
Yeah.
0.
Zero big chances. No, that can't
Asim,
be
I'm not
right.
lying. I'm going by Opta. I'm going by Premier League.
I'm gonna check
don't-
this.
Take that
no,
Opta
quote me
where
on
the
this.
sun don't
Check,
shine.
Opta, check it.
I'm gonna check this.
So when you have somebody who's you spend £100+ million on, right? Who I wanted before any of you did. You have to be honest and call it for what it is, Avi. You can't just say a few touches here, a few touches there. Wasn't a 6 out of 10.
Again,
It
you're
doesn't make
missing-
any.
you're
That does
missing
not
the
make
point.
any sense to me.
He is
You
not a
have
3
no.
out of
Let me,
10.
Avi, 1 second. Let me
He's not a 3
Let
out
me
of
land
10.
now. Let me
Aye, but
land.
it's-
For the first 6 or 7 games, right? You've been on what 16 games now, whatever you said, yeah. For the first 10 games, Qassam, I'm not lying. I thought he had one half good game. If we're honest, okay, name me the game he played well in the first 10. Go on, ball. Don't give me that face. Give me one. That you thought
we've seen
Florian
him in
Wirtz
patches
arrived.
in games. I think the first 45, 50 against Bournemouth, he was good. Against Arsenal, I thought he was really good.
I think
Against
Real
Arsenal,
Madrid, he was good.
Real Madrid, he was good.
Real Madrid,
Yeah,
Real
keep
Madrid
that-
was
yeah,
probably his
keep
best
that,
game.
That's game, yeah. Frankfurt,
That was his half decent game. I'm talking about properly. Qassam Chana, he hasn't. For me,
no, he's
for me, boys.
he's trolling.
When
Let's
you
move
guys
on.
are giving
You're trolling.
6 out of 10s for a player like this, I don't know.
No,
where
I
you
didn't
get
give.
that
I
from.
didn't give him a rating. I
Yeah,
don't
5
agree
out of
with
What do
10.
you give
Whatever
Salah?
you're giving.
What are you giving Salah
Wirtz-
this season? What are you
Wirtz
giving
is
Salah this
Wirtz.
season?
But Salah's fucking been just as bad. He probably gets the 3. He probably gets the 3. The only 2 players for me that are above a 6 or a 7 are probably Ekitike and Dominic Szoboszlai. Who else is above a 5 in this Liverpool team?
Florian Wirtz
No,
is
1 second. Name me another player that's above a 5 this season at Liverpool. Bar Szoboszlai and Ekitike, maybe Jones. Go on. Who else? Who else deserves above 5?
Yeah, you struggle.
Not
You struggle.
one player. So don't come here to me and start giving out 6s. Yeah, to these players. They don't deserve it. Recently, yes, I can understand it. Mania, you know what? A few of them have done okay. You're giving out bloody 6 and 7s to players when they haven't done jack shit all
No one's
season.
giving Wirtz a 7. No one's giving Wirtz a 7.
I
This
would
is
give.
everything.
I would
6 is
give
poor.
Florian Wirtz a 5 out of 10.
6 is
You said
average.
6. You said
6 is
6.
average.
He
I
said
didn't
6
say-
earlier. You said 6. You said
Avi,
6 out of 10.
Asim, the
You said
barometer
6
is
5 minutes ago.
1 second,
You said 6.
Let's be honest. The
No,
barometer is
no,
6
don't
is
lie.
generally
I
an
didn't
average.
lie.
1 second. 6
Too tough,
is generally an average performance. Ben, do you agree?
Yes.
6 is generally an average player. That's, average is coming as average. If you've done better, yeah. 6 says if you had a 7, he's been decent. Above 8, very good. Excellent, unbelievable. Yeah? You work down. So if your 6 is your average, what's Wirtz at?
He's not a 3.
I think it's a 5.
I think
I
he's
think,
a
okay,
6.75.
if I'm being harsh on Wirtz, okay, I'll give him a 4.
Okay,
But that must mean Isak must be less then, because
Isak's fucking diabolical.
Worse.
I would
Isak's
get you
one.
that Isak's
Isak's
been
one.
shit. There's no doubt that we have to give Isak. If I had to rate Isak this season 1,
Mhm.
and the reason why I give him 1 is because that West Ham goal was world class,
that's all he's done.
and he's got a 1 for that.
You have to be honest and
Sorry,
be
I'm just
call
throwing
it for
that in
exactly
there.
what it is. Oh, he is.
Who's got this?
Oh.
Who's put this up?
I don't know who's put this up.
I've not
I've
put
just
this
I've
up.
thrown
not
that
put
in
it up my
for
hands
us.
in here.
I
Angie,
put it up just so just trying to get the facts so that we're all clear. So it's 21 to 25 total chances, but only 5 big chances in the Champions League. Doesn't even mention the Premier League.
Champions
Premier
League.
League
is
I was
big
going by
chances.
Premier League. I was going by Premier League, Ben.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me try and
Because
find
it's
the
zero in
yeah,
Premier League.
Premier League.
His, according to FBF, I've just quickly checked it. His expected assists is 92 percentile. That's encouraging for me.
Them stats, I don't know fuck all what they are. I'll be honest with you. You can give me these fucking stats, but I'm going by what I've been shown.
Brilliant.
25 thing is 0 big chances created.
I've got that one
that's
for
all
you,
I need to
Asim.
see. You
So
can
what
give me
was
this
Sunderland?
percentile.
What was the Sunderland of? Because Sunderland was an own goal. What was that?
Talk us through it. Asim, explain to the chat, because there's other people I know that don't understand that what
Oh, come
they
on,
are.
Ben. It doesn't take
They are
Einstein to
really
read that.
interesting.
It doesn't take
By the
Einstein
way,
to read all that.
was
Ben.
I
Come
right?
on.
Was I right? Is created 0 big
Where?
chances in the league.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, that's my case.
Everyone said in the chat.
That's my case. I rest my case. Thank you.
Look,
Don't come on here giving me
I-
5s and 6s to a player who hasn't even created a big chance all season when he's your number 10. With respect, regardless of the mitigating circumstances you guys are going to give me right now, doesn't make a difference. You signed a 10. He was bought in to do one thing. What was he bought in to do? Get us create chances, get goals, get assists, make us play. Right now, he hasn't done it. I genuinely believe he will. Do I believe he'll do it? Yes.
So what are we arguing about then?
I have to judge him. I have to judge him for the rest of the game.
What are we arguing about then? What are we arguing?
That's
If you
that's the
believe,
key one there.
if you
That's
believe,
You are right. This
That's
you
not
believe he's
penalty.
gonna come good. Why are you coming up with it then today? Why?
That is out of all the stats, that's the key one for me. Correct me if
Which
I'm wrong, anyone, but that's non-penalty XG plus expected goals and assists, and he's in the 64th percentile in the league, which is, as I say, way below average at this moment. 0.31 assists so far, 84th percent. So this is per 90, by the way, but unexpected. It's not good. It's not good. But
the expected
there's lots of
0.24. So we are out. If these are you're running me the stats, boys, not me. You're running these stats, not me. I'm not touching the stats. If that's in front of us, how can you say 5?
But the record's been broken, and that's the
say,
mitigation, isn't it?
This deserves more. He deserves a 5. Give me a reason.
He's getting better, and you've just said that he will come good. So I don't know why we've been arguing for the last 10 minutes.
I'm judging
You've
him
just
as
said
of right now.
You've just unless you were no. We don't talk about now. We don't talk about now.
Start of the season for Liverpool.
You've just said, and you'd only come with this argument if you truly believe that he was going to be a flop and he was going to be sold after a month or a year. After 18 months. You've just said, I know he's going to come good. I know he's going to come good. If he's going to come good, Ben, why are we arguing about it then? If you think he's going to come good, then why waste our time for the last 17 minutes if you think he's going to come good?
About football? We might as well shut the fucking channel down. We might as well shut the channel and stop talking about football.
3 out of 10 makes 3 out of 10 is stupid. It's absolutely stupid. He's not been 3 out of 10.
Okay,
5 or
what's
6.
it been then?
5 or 6, which is still average. It's not good enough. It's still not good enough. But 3 out of 10. Come on, guys.
It depends on how you're gauging it, doesn't it? Because I think the thing is, what Gene's saying is the expectation levels were so unbelievably high. Realistically, we were thinking he was just going to rock up and literally rip the league up. He was going to be a prime Coutinho, but like a pressing machine all rolled into one. And even I've been disappointed with his pressing, to be honest, because he is very lightweight, and he did look like a pressing monster for a 10 in the Bundesliga. But in this league, he's getting bullied off the ball by mid-table Premier League teams, and that's something that he has definitely got to fix. But then you think to yourself, okay, well, if you're not going to do that, then that's fine. But are you putting these unbelievable through balls? Like there's one that Minter played through the lines yesterday, a lovely little reverse ball, created a fabulous chance. I have to admit, I've not seen one of those absolute golden passes from Wirtz. Yeah, but he can only thread those balls if people are making runs off the ball, and there's no cohesion in the attack, is there? Realistically, Ekitike, for all his quality, he looks like a very much of an isolated player at the moment. He does all these little things, but he's not linking up with his teammates great. Salah obviously does link up well, but he's been in massively indifferent form. Gakpo, again, another island who just operates completely as an individual. There's no cohesion, there's no balance, there's no structure in terms of the attack at the moment, and that's obviously got to come. And Wirtz can only work with what he's got around him, hasn't he? But so, there's lots of mitigating factors that we need to consider.
And just on this final thing before we move on, Gene, yeah? We're a football club that nurtures new signings. We give them time. Kenny Dalglish on the overlap said, listen, do not worry about Florian Wirtz. He will come good. Whether it takes a few more months, a few more weeks.
Yeah, but that doesn't have any effect on your
Hold on, 1 minute, Asim.
That doesn't have any
He
effect
will
on
come
your
good. He will come good. And we've seen signs in the last 4 or 5 weeks where he is getting better. Inter Milan, he was very good. Yesterday, he was good. Yes, I get where you're coming from. But Yara, come on, 3 out of 10. Let's have a bit of
Okay,
sensibility.
if 3 is wrong, 4.
I almost take that as a compliment.
One second. Avi,
Knowing
if
that
3
there's
is
loads
wrong,
more to come.
4
Exactly.
then.
Thank you,
4.
Ben.
But you're giving 6s.
I did not give. I gave a 5.
No.
You gave 6 originally,
Where did
you
you
idiot.
I'm going 4.
Yeah, this guy's a fucking idiot. This
4's
guy.
fine.
Dude, come on.
Ben,
Are you suffering from
3 and
Alzheimer's
4
or
is-
something?
I
You
get
said
that.
6
I'm
about
okay
20
with that.
minutes ago.
I did not
And
give.
now all of a
Right.
sudden 5.
Ben,
No, don't be
if you're giving
flip-flop.
4s and if you're giving guys in the chat, if you're giving 4s to Florian Wirtz, I have no issue with that. That's fine.
I've
But
never
please,
been a
giving
fan of ratings.
6s out to
I've
him.
never been a fan of ratings anyway.
4
I've
to
never
5
been,
to 6
I've never
is
been a fan of ratings. You do
Come
a
on,
end
lad.
of season
That's
rating.
taking the
You
piss.
do an end of season rating. You don't do a 1-16 games.
We'll save Isak's rating for another show. Like,
If Wirtz is a 6, mate, half of our team are on 6, bro.
I think you have to give ratings and provide context and talk about the team dynamic in the same way we talked about Diaz as a player. People were obsessed with his output last couple of years. People were obsessed with Dominic Szoboszlai's output last year, and you have to provide the same thing. Yes,
we defended him.
Wirtz, like, you've got a point about a big chance in the Premier League. That's ridiculous. That's undefendable. Yeah, let's be honest. You have to call a spade a spade. But I think there is I think the manager needs to take a lot of responsibility. The guy's changed position about 10 million times. He hasn't had a stable right back, which has a lot of effect on the number 10, especially when he was playing as a number 10 on paper. He hasn't had a settled striker. The Salah in the last month or so, he started playing a diamond. And then when you play and in the number 10, where he's just literally, you talk about plug and play option and the trade-off with Salah as well on that right-hand side, it was never going to work, especially when you've lost Trent. Because when the right back has to go in no man's land to create a chance, and then you've got literally the whole rest defense is all over the place, we didn't have the control for a proper number 10 into this team, with the lack of the security in the fullbacks, the lack of the proper DM to provide security and the power in midfield, and then what I've just talked about, the fullbacks. And I think Wirtz will connect better with the likes of Curtis Jones and Ekitike. Gakpo, for me, he doesn't connect well, and one guy is just not going to benefit with that. Is Kirkez as well. So I think 3 is harsh because you have to. I want to go down to a 4, but I'll stick with the 5. But yeah, it's an interesting debate. But look, we've concentrated, Ben, on individual performances. We have to break down the game as well. Let's literally spend 5-10 minutes on the game. What did you make of it? Because I think the first half we looked decent. All our best stuff for me came in the first half. But I felt that we, especially in the second half, we sat off them. Maybe it was just after the second goal. The manager, his philosophy and his mindset is protecting not Leeds, but protecting the whole game. Maybe protecting his job as well. Let's be honest, in the last month or so. But what did you make of the second half, especially? Because I thought they didn't exactly have their backs to the wall, but Brighton kept on coming, to be fair to him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've seen a few of the guys in the chat saying about the second half was pretty average, to be honest, and it probably was. If we're being honest, it wasn't anything spectacular. It wasn't anything amazing. But I think again, you hit the nail on the head. It's all about the context. We're trying to get results at this moment in time. We're trying to build a platform. There's no chance on planet Earth, even after being having that great start and going in 1-0 up, we were going to come out the blocks second half and try and blitz them and win 5-6-0, because Brighton are a good side. They're a really good side. They're tactically well set up. They know what they're doing. They've got threats on the counter. They've got pace in wide areas. All of the proverbials that we expect. And Slot is in the business of keeping his job at this moment in time. So he's trying to build some sort of form. And, form takes a while to build. And all of a sudden, it's 5 games unbeaten. And it doesn't feel like we've played brilliant at any point. But that first half was good. It set the foundations for the results. And it was what we needed. I just think everyone needs to be realistic. We're not just going to suddenly turn into the finished article after the form that we've been in general over the last couple of months. We've got to build these results, and that performance overall at the 90 minutes wasn't probably that much different to the performance that we had at home to Anfield, at home to Brighton last season, where we won 2-1, I think it was. I think that's the thing about this manager that I think people are going to need to get on board with. I don't think he's going to ever be this manager who's just going to break out of this, sort of like cape or something and say, like, I am going to turn into a manager who's going to just go after teams and try and win 5-6-0. He's always going to be the person who tries to control a game, tries to score 1 or 2 more than the opposition and get the results. But he is in the business at the moment of trying to build some form. And as I say, I don't think there's, we can't really at this moment in time expect much more than just, if we get the next 4 games as just wins and we do enough and we play well in certain sections of the game, and then we sit in and we defend when we need to, etc., but we get results, and all of a sudden we're back in 3rd, 4th position in a few weeks' time, then we can have a conversation about going to the next stage. But I just think at the moment you just got to take whatever result comes our way, given how shit we've been.
Results game, but look, we are seeing improvements, patterns of play. We do look patterns of play, inshallah. We did look good first half. We did look good. And look, Brighton are a good outfit under Hustler. They've been a great outfit under previous managers, Potter, whether it's De Zerbi. And look, they are a well-structured team, but we did well. And of course, there's going to be a bit of a drop-off.
There's another caveat as well here, in that all of a sudden now we are threadbare in terms of the squad. So we can't really go all guns blazing and absolutely blitz teams and try and just out smash them out off the park, because we've got 4 or 5 fixtures over the next 5 weeks where we've probably only got 12, 13 players. Need to be a bit pragmatic in terms of it. Brighton had a full week to prepare. We had a long trip away to Inter Milan, tough game. So it's just about managing the games and managing the situations. I've got no problem with us just containing stuff. And as I say, there's a few of the guys in the chat said, oh, it was very underwhelming in the second half. And it was. But the reality is, in the context of where we are at this point in the season, I don't care. It's just about results and building some form and building some confidence.
One second. I have a question for you.
Super chat.
Yeah, but I'll go to Super after. Well, I've got one question for you, Asim. At the game, we've got 10 men behind the ball. Yeah? We've got 10 men behind the ball, and Brighton play through us at ease. When we're sat back, we're actually sat back, right? Not in a low, but probably a mid-block. And we've got 11 behind the ball, yet they still manage to break through us so easily. Why?
They are a good team. They are a good team.
Look, Bobby, they can be a good team, but it happened 3 times where it could have led to goals. And look, I know we're going through a phase. Ben mentioned we're going through, it's all about result. I get all of that. But it's worrying that a team, when we're sat in a mid-block, we're allowing that it's so easy for the opposition to just play through us still.
I watched the game back today, Gene. This mid-block has been there since day one. The 4-2-4 was a problem. It was suboptimal from Arne Slot. He won the title and it got masked. But this season, we've been talking about it a lot more. The 4-2-4, the trade-offs not being working, it's made him have a massive bust up with his star player, the guy who won him the league. And then the mid-block, where these players naturally, there's 3-4 reasons why. The players naturally, Dominic Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones, what we all just discussed, McAllister, they don't have that, because we don't have that natural number 6. So we don't have a guy who's, looking around, scanning, picking up. We mark space. Van Hecker is a really good progressor of the ball. We were talking about Van Dijk's passing. We've talked about Curtis Jones going into the first line, passing it through midfield. Van Hecker is one of the best in the league. So you have to caveat that sometimes you have to praise the guy who's passing it into midfield. But I think when you've got a diamond and you've got McAllister defending from the number 10, where he's just marking space, and I've taken snapshots, I'm going to write a little thread on it tonight for tomorrow morning if I can, and where he's not even screening the pass into midfield, good presses, put pressure on the ball. If they're not putting pressure on the ball, they're making sure that passing lane is blocked into the center midfield, whether it's excuse me, whether it's a defense, attacking midfielder behind him, or the number 10 pulling off the centre backs. And the other problem is the first half. I've again taken plenty of snapshots. Kanate and Van Dijk, there's a reason, it's not a coincidence where Liverpool looked better on the ball and off the ball, where they jumped on the halfway line many times. Kanate followed Rudder, followed the number 10, and Van Dijk did the same thing. When we got the second goal, we thought, okay, let's go into survival mode and try to sit off. And the +1 has harmed us since last season. I talked about it. It masked a lot of problems last season, and you have to give credit as well to Brighton. They're 1-0 down. They keep on coming. How many times have you seen? I thought Danny Welbeck, if he stays at 1-0, Danny Welbeck is going to come on and score a headed goal, because he's done it so many times. And it always happens to be in half decent games as well. We have to give the credit to the manager. When he's chasing the game, he plays the right way. At 0-0, he plays the game the right way, even at 1-0 and 2-0 down, where Weaver and Karagioglu, Karagioglu.
That's right, yeah.
They were going into midfield areas. So Salah and Wirtz had to pass men on. And again, when I talk about the natural defensive nous of our midfield, and then Wirtz and Salah, and then the number 10 in McAllister trying to screen defenders, and then the +1, you've got so many problems that Liverpool, the fact is that is going to affect that ball going into midfield, especially in the last factor that I mentioned is from Van Hecker. And he tried to act on it. He put Robertson on the left-hand side, tried to give him a bit more protection. Robertson has got the natural tendency to go at top of the box into like an inside left-back position. But when it became 2-0, and later on when we put Chiesa at right back, then Jones, Szoboszlai went back, I'm going to write something about Dominic Szoboszlai. He is, look, I've always said, look, I think he's, in terms of what we needed at that time, what he could provide us in the right back position. Am I going to stand here, and even at the time when I wanted him at right back, is it an ideal situation? Is it a natural situation? No. And that is another area they targeted. And there was one moment, and you watch the game back for a good 10 minutes, they kept on playing the ball down our right. Yeah. And because I was where I was sat, Slot kept on turning to the bench, and once I lip read him, and he said, Dom again. And so they were targeting that area behind Salah. Karagioglu was going into that, and Salah was passing him on, and he wasn't tracking him. And then we had the overload on that side as well. If the pass came, and Dominic Szoboszlai didn't know if he had to stay compact and track the inverted fullback, or go out to his, I think it was Mitoma at that time as well. So all those factors, Gene, the 4-4-2 mid-block of Arne Slot has been a big problem for so many reasons. And if he doesn't sort it out, I 3-4 weeks ago, I said it could cost him his job. And the 4-4-2 on the ball, off the ball in terms of the trade-off, he decided to go from here to give the license to Salah, and then he went from here to drop him. He needs to do something about the 4-4-2 mid-block, because Liverpool's stationary and passive structure and the way they transition into the man-to-man press is nowhere near good enough. It's not even average. We've been given ratings. If I want to give 4-4-2 the Slots 4-4-2 mid-block, I'll use your 3 out of 10 as well, and that's me being kind. So yeah, it's gonna take a bit of time. It's not an overnight fix, but there are a few things he can do to make it better.
Avi, obviously, look, we mentioned the midfield. Asim's mentioned that a lot of players that people have mentioned. There's a massive issue with our midfield. Do we need a physical presence in that midfield? January is only a couple of weeks away. I think it's fair, and Asim mentioned this in a couple of, I think a week ago, that he wouldn't be surprised that Liverpool make a move for a midfielder in January. Is that one of the positions with, obviously we need a centre-back because Joe Gomez is injured, that we need to address in Jan, or do you think we wait till the summer?
I think we can potentially get away with it till the summer, because I think the summer you will get a more flurry of players availability. I'm not sure if you can prize away the likes of a Wharton, especially a Wharton if we're going to go in for Gahey in January, and then Elliot Anderson from Forest, who had a really impressive win today against Spurs. I'm not sure if you can prize those away if they're on our lips, or if they're the talk of the town at Liverpool amongst the hierarchy. I think it's a position that we can wait on, because look, at the moment, Grab, Szoboszlai, yes, we've got an extra body with Maka, even though he's out of form. Jones, Wirtz coming in. I think we've got enough cover there. Centre back is the priority in January, Gene, and a winger of some sort, a Semenyo and a Gehi. For me, I'll be very happy if we can get those two in. And if there is anything, if there is a potential, if there is a bit of a door open for Elliot Anderson and City for Nottingham Forest are inciting offers, then I'm sure we'll be amongst the bidders. But for now, I'll settle for just two.
Fine. All right, I'll just go to the super chats, guys. Guys, first and foremost, everybody, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. LFC Super 1, big up. Thank you very much for your super chat. With all your feelings, guys' feelings, who do you think we will sign in Jan? 2, 3 names from all of you. Big up, BNR. As always, love the content. Keep smashing it. Big up. Thank you very much. I think, you know what? I think, you know what? Let's just go give quickly 2 names in Jan. Quickly, Avi?
Semenyo Gehi, done.
Asim? 2 names.
Fucking hell, bastard.
Fuck's sake, Asim.
Semenyo.
You can say the same as me. Just say the same as me. It's fine.
Edison.
Semenyo, Edison. Ben?
Guay Rodrigo.
Whoa!
Yeah, you've been smoking the same stuff that I have last night in your holiday party.
I'm going with Avi. Semenyo and Gay. Right, next super chat. Big up, Ash. Thank you. Always
I had another name, but I'll give that next time.
Yeah, wait, next
and
time.
I bet that name would be Jeremy Ajoche.
Right. Anyway, Ash, big up, Ash. Thank you very much for your super chat. CJ made a brilliant header at 1-0. We were slow getting back and CJ sniffed the danger. Great maturity shown to read the game and cover the run by Minte. I think we've all sat here and, you know, given a load of props to Curtis Jones.
If we're looking for auditions for Salah's eventual replacement in the future, Jakub Minte, yeah, stick him up your arse.
I was going to say Jones then.
No, Jakub Minte, absolutely shit.
Okay,
has never done anything for me.
Okay, Tige. Anyway, a big up, Ali. I don't have doubts on Flo. Isak, though, laugh out loud. Doubts. I'm gonna put. We're gonna address this.
Gene, what's your rating for Isak?
1 for that goal.
I'm not gonna argue against Gene.
Can I give my rating for Isak?
Of course.
1.
Yeah.
Avi?
Yeah,
I
agree with you, Gene.
I gave him 1 because of that goal, yeah.
Okay, Tige. So we all agree. Thank
2,
you.
2. He scored in the.
God for that.
No, we don't. The game doesn't do anything for me, Avi.
Minte, what? How old is Minte, Avi?
Oh, yeah, he's a young lad.
20 what?
I think he's 22.
I want to see how Diomande fares till the end of the season with Leipzig. He is a regen of a certain Sadio, but let's keep
21. He's 21.
He hasn't got it. Trust
July.
me, Mint is not it.
He's only 22. But you know what? He bloody puts a shift in. Qasam.
He hasn't got the aesthetics for me.
Oh, shut up.
He's 21. He's 21 in July.
We had people saying Mohamed Salah is not aesthetically pleasing.
He's had 1 goal and 3 assists this season in 16 games.
No, carry on, boys. Carry on. Let's go quickly.
Anyway,
I've got to go for an Indian, man.
You decided to come on the show. Show some respect and listen. Banter is fine. Big up for your super chat. Slap won't improve his principles. OOP triggers transitioning to man-to-man, etc. In my opinion. Obviously, everybody knows what it means, you idiot. I see him rest defense and general IP improving more though. Asim, I'll come to you. Go on. You can answer this one.
Slow won't improve without triggers transition to man-to-man, especially I see him rest defense and general in possession scheme improving more though. In the last month, he's decided, okay, we sort out our in possession stuff with Curtis Jones, but at the moment he's decided to sort of either go all out from a man-to-man perspective in the second half. Yeah, come on, man! You guys are making me laugh.
We got another Roger Miller on our hands.
Who's the guy who played for Yakubu?
Oh yeah, Yakubu.
Feed the yak and he will score. Yakubu.
Feed the yak. Apparently he was 21 for about 15 years.
No. It was the other one. It was the other one at Inter Milan. It was the other
This
one.
guy's
Martins.
Martins, Martins.
Martins, yeah, the one who played for Newcastle.
Martins,
He
yeah,
was
yeah.
in
That's it.
36 on to 66.
He was collecting his pension at 25.
Go on, Asim. Asim, let answer this, man. Go on.
Avi, I thought you wanted to go for an Indian. Then he complains about, Deskaro.
Obafemi Martins. That was his name.
Who
Obafemi
said
Martins.
his name?
You know what? He was good on Pro Evo, Martin. But yeah, look, at the moment he's gone like either sit off and try to defend the lead. I know it's not often we go 1-0 up, but I agree with Bante. It's fine. Yes, he needs to improve his personnel. I think Semenyo will give us transition threat and also give us the nous as well to track a man. I think Salah and Gakpo can't work if he's going to go revert back to a 4-3-3. The big question is what's going to happen to this diamond in the long run? Is it a short-term fix? Does it get the best out of fullbacks? Yes, it does. The only thing about the diamond is, Salah, Isak, and Ekitike. There's two places, but there's three places. There's two players that go into those three places. Three players that go into two places. And at the moment, it's easy because Salah and Ekitike can play. If you're going to protect him with Szoboszlai on the right-hand side of the diamond, I like that. I think that's our best team. I think our best team is Gravenberch, Szoboszlai on the right of the diamond, Wirtz on the tip of it, and then Curtis on the left of it with Ekitike and Salah. And then we've got Bradley or Frimpong. If he's going to stick with that, I think it can work. And then Salah is effectively pressing the centre-back. And then Szoboszlai is giving him the protection. It can be a 4-4-2 as well. I think that is going to be the team. And I want Semenyo on the left-hand side if we're going to be a 4-3-3 as well. I think Semenyo, Ekitike, and Salah is our best top three in a 4-3-3. But it depends which way he goes. But personnel and a few tweaks, hopefully he goes that way.
Big up, Emmy. Emmy's sent a few super chats, guys. I'll quickly run through them all, and then we'll have a quick chat about them. We're misusing Isak in this setup. Next one, we're not used to playing with a true 9. Big up. Hate to say it, Salah bought slot time, and the final one is Salah to play central from now on. I think it's important that we do speak about Isak and Salah, both of them in tandem. Obviously, look, both of them had the best of seasons, to say the least. Isak's been non-existent. I think we all agree. We all gave him a 1. I don't think anybody in the chat will disagree that we are worried. It'd be, I'm really worried. If I'm honest with you, he's worried me. 1 goal in the league is nowhere near good enough. I'm not buying this fitness issue anymore. He needs games to get fit. I'll be straight with you. He's had, he never had a pre-season. It's December. You might have picked up a niggle or two, but it's December. You should be fit. The guy's huffing and puffing after 30, 35 minutes. His press has been non-existent and he looks lost on that pitch. Granted, he's come to a new club, Liverpool, going through a load of issues right now. In terms of his press, it's nowhere near good enough to be a number 9 at Liverpool. And because you have to be able to show something. And we have not seen anything from this player as yet, Avi. Thoughts first on Alexander Isak?
We haven't, but look, Gene, I'm not going to wash my hands off of him straight away or right now. We have to just be patient again. With him and Wirtz, I know they've cost a lot of money, 250 million, 250 million. Yeah, probably around that much. But I know it's not what fans want to hear, but we have to give him time. Isak, like I said it before, said it earlier on in the show, he will be a 30-goal. He will be a bagsman for this football club sooner rather than later.
How long, Avi? How long do you give him?
How long you want? Look. I think the club.
If Ekitike is firing, question. Ben, question to you. Ekitike is firing. 90% of the time, we will probably play with 1-9. If we're honest, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do?
The irony? The irony, Gene. Right now, everyone's talking about 2 big lads up front because Salah's not doing it. Wirtz is not playing behind him. Right now, Isak doesn't get into a 4-3-3, and now right now, the only thing that is going to get him games in a 4-4-2, in my eyes, is the AFCON. is the AFCON. But there's two, three things with Isak. Body is an issue that he needs to get right. Before anything else, he needs to sort himself out. And look, I know Chine's been really heavily going in on him, and understandably so as well. Like, enough time, pre-season shit, this and that. But we do know a pre-season, players that without a pre-season, it has a massive effect. But then he's got long-term issues with that groin, and we pushed him to get fit, and then he broke down because of that groin. And now I believe he's also nursing it, but the thing is, now it's become a mental thing in terms of that price tag, one. And two, there's a lad here that we bought for 60, 70 million that is refusing to go away, and he won't go away because of his mentality as well. And I think Ekitike has piled the pressure on. You can see him. He looks really off. His body language is off. He looks lost. He looks tired. He looks timid. All these things, they're relevant to Alexander Isak. But one thing I would defend him, that the way that we defended Florian Wirtz, and Florian Wirtz has been better than him. He's shown that he can connect. He's a better footballer and stuff like that. That I saw a stat about 2-3 weeks ago that Alexander Isak, on average, is only touching the ball in the penalty box for Liverpool this season once every 90 minutes. Compare that to Newcastle, it was 6 times. So that shows me there's a system issue as well as an Alexander Isak issue, where we're not playing them. The manager went and famously said we lack a profile of someone like Jacob Murphy, and obviously we know what happened after that. But look, you have to play the game around him. But the problem is he needs to sort himself out before anything else. He has to give the manager a headache. Now, you know what? I can play. But the problem is because we're not controlling games like the way we are, Slot was talking about a facilitator in the number 9 position. We need a number 9 facilitator more, probably this season compared to last season. And it's not a coincidence why Ekitike has performed the way he's done, is because he's a better footballer than Isak. But look, there was a moment yesterday where Salah had funnily enough, it was on the right-hand side, where he played the ball to Isak and he went through. But I want to see those moments more, where he's on the shoulder of someone. We were talking about it on the watch-along against Inter Milan, where I felt sorry for him in a way, where he doesn't have the physicality. He's nursing. He's got half a groin at the moment, and he's bloody has to chase back a carrying centre-back into deep areas into our half. That I don't want to see, because you have to, if you have a number 9, like Haaland today hardly got the ball. Like he scored with I think his 7th or 8th touch. It felt like his 2nd touch and 1st touch. But that is the type of player that he is. He's not involved. We have to give him 2-3 chances a game. And I believe Liverpool at the moment, especially up until he changed the formation, where he didn't know, do I play and make Salah as my focal point, the guy who won me the league, or do I go through my number 10, Wirtz and Isak? And I think he decided that a month ago that I have to go through Isak and Wirtz, is because I have to, make sure we get a return on the investment. And you can understand it in a way, because they're younger and we just spent, 200 million on them, more than that actually. But I'm worried, Gene. The only encouraging thing, the only thing that's not making me go big, is because unlike Wirtz, we've seen him be world class in the Premier League.
That is his saving grace. If we're honest, Avi,
Yeah,
Avi, come to you. The only saving grace for Alexander Isak right now is we've seen him do it in the Premier League.
He's been there and done it.
That's the only saving grace.
And look, he will come.
The other thing with Isak as well, which I don't is not talked about enough, and I don't. Maybe we are fickle, and this will change. But I do feel as though there's no real any sort of a bond or connection with Isak from the fan base yet either. I think there's quite a strong section of the fan base, probably more than we'd like to admit, that wasn't very impressed at all with Isak's behaviour in the summer. Even though it was to the benefit of us, I think there's a good percentage of maybe an old school part of the fan base that thought, you know what, if that could be him doing it to us when he's trying to get a move to Real Madrid in 3 years. So it's like, He's got a big weight of a price tag on his shoulders.
Yeah.
He's got the big weight of getting fit, but he's also got a bit of a psychological barrier to break through with some of the fan base. Whereas with Wirtz, he's a young lad. He's running his socks off. You can see he's trying. Everyone's desperate for him to do well. You can see the talent and the ability. But Isak is a little bit like, are you really here for us, or were we just offering you more money? Or I don't know. The counter argument is
No, I disagree with that. Sorry, I have to interject.
No. I'm going to say the counter argument now is that he almost risked his reputation to come and sign for us, didn't he?
Yeah, but he wouldn't have
he
wouldn't have been let go. He would not have been let go if he didn't dig his holes in. And unfortunately, that's the way the game is going now. Stars like him, they have to dig their heels in, and if they don't want to report for pre-season in Hong Kong, wherever they went. That's the nature of the business.
I agree.
I tell you what he needs. I love the connection with the fans, Ben. You were spot on there. I tell you what he needs. He needs that moment. He needs that moment.
He had that moment against West Ham?
No. He needs
Anfield in front of the
top. Under the lights. He needs that moment, preferably against a big team. And it may come in the Champions League. And as soon as he gets that moment in one of the qualifying stages or in the knockout stages, as soon as he gets, I know that's a long way away, but as soon as he gets that moment, he'll be off and away. The West Ham game, that's a sample size. I get the connection with the fans. And look, we've always adored number 9. We've always adored every forward that comes through the club, whether it was Darwin Núñez and persevering with him, with Luis Suarez, with Fernando Torres, with even Titi Kamara. We all had affiliation with forwards. Isak just needs that moment.
Two things I want to finish off with Isak.
Asim, before you go, let me just quickly run these because it's on Isak.
I've got to go.
Stop benching Wirtz. Him and Isak must play together. Chin, slot integrated Isak badly. Be patient. Hugo's firing because he takes risks, not routine. Isak's a seasoned vet and a disciplined 9. Our coaching man management is hurting Isak. And his final one is we need patience. Henri needed time too. Sorry, one more. Rivals talk nonsense, but they take Isak fast.
They would do.
So, Asim, your thoughts on Isak?
No. You know what? I actually forgot my point.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Listen, quick one. Milos Kerkez, Anjay.
Let me come to him. I was supposed to come to Milos Kerkez. Yeah.
Let me quickly. I've got to go. Mother-in-law's here. I've got to take her out for an Indian. Listen, Milos Kerkez. I just said, look, all I said was, you guys got the voice note today. I think Ben got a bit of the brunt of it.
Sorry, Avi. Sorry. I think the Isak thing, two things. I think for the last 10 years, guys, Liverpool have not adapted to a proper number 9.
Yeah.
Since
we've been so
used that was.
You've had false 9s.
There's no rocket science. Come on, Yara.
And you could see because we've been so used to Bobby Chin. And then even Núñez, we were trying to get Trent involved, Salah wider, and it was a problem. It was a problem.
Yeah.
So
that was a great point because last season we didn't. Our number 9 didn't work last season. Whether it was Jota, whether it was Núñez, whether it was Diaz, latterly, but we didn't really. The 9 didn't really flourish. It was the wide players,
10.
wasn't it?
It was a double 10, and that's where the slots facility came in, and that's why I mentioned it. We probably need more of a facilitator right now because at least we control games better last season, and we don't control games. When you control games, you can have someone on the shoulder and act like a number 9. But because we're not doing that, what I would say is Liverpool need to add directness to their play, whether it's in transition or even, I mentioned, I watched 30-40 minutes and I've been calling for Anderson because for me, he ticks overall more boxes than Wharton. But I think what Wharton will give Isak is that first time ball. And I think when you've got a number 9 playing and he knows the guy can, one, he can pick a pass on a consistent basis, and 2, he's going to get it on a consistent basis. I think mentally, the number 9 knows, and his movement is reflecting upon that. So those are the 2 points I want to make on Isak. Go on, Avi.
Perfectly made. Look, Gene, Kerkez, time, and I'll keep saying it. Be patient. The best is yet to come. He played much better, even though we got battered for 1. He was good against PSV. He was good. Leeds. Yesterday, it was one of his better games, probably as good as the Arsenal game earlier on in the season. But Kerkez, he not only looked up Meadowiki, he locked up Eminem as well, Minte as well. So listen, lots more to come from Milos Kerkez. Be patient. He will be here and he will have a long, illustrious career at this football club. I'm going. I have to go. Guys.
I'll let you, Avi. I'll let you.
What is this, man? This is really unprofessional, man.
You got 1 hour.
Yeah,
Really?
he's got to take.
You're paying me for my time.
Asim, if
Pay
you go
me
for
for
1 hour
my
35
time.
It's really
minutes,
unprofessional. It's
1 hour
really-
35 minutes, man. Jaan
Yeah,
desi
yeah,
yaar, jaan
yeah.
desi.
If you're on the show, you finish it. Simple, lads.
Did you need 5 minutes though? Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Jaldi karo.
Thank you.
I'll just go through. Emmy, you're still talking about Isak, but I'll bring it up. Teams can't play to Isak. Wirtz fixes that. But yeah, big up, man. I got
I'm
look,
only
guys.
joking, man. Let him go, yeah.
I let him go, yeah.
Take
Look,
the-
I think, you know
take
what?
the mother-in-law out, man.
We're done anyway.
We're done anyway, man. Look, guys.
What a show! What a show! This has been great. Let me just join in now. Great show. There will be no Born and Red tomorrow.
Oh, why?
There will be a Born and Red on Tuesday. I have to be in the office tomorrow, but Tuesday I'm home, and then I'm
So
off
we're-
and away.
Are we
Tuesday
all in the
will be-
office, boys?
Tuesday will be the last.
No,
Sorry. Because I like hosting Tuesday shows. So
And you-
Tuesday, Chip will be back. Hope these guys may go tomorrow, and they probably will go tomorrow. But Tuesday I will be back. It will be my last show before Christmas and the New Year, because then I'm setting off sailing around the world. I'm doing a charity. You can all
Charity.
It's a charity thing. I'm going all around the world on the cruise. Yeah. Anyway, guys, enough of that. Pray, 100%. Pray for the victims and the families as well, guys. Tuesday we will be back with a Born and Red. We'll think of an agenda, and then please like and subscribe. 500 of you guys here today, and I still think 475 of you are still in there. Please like and subscribe. It's been a great show, hosted today by Gina.
I'm the show today, man. What a show today! It's been a proper show today, man.
I've got a great fun agenda for Tuesday night for your last show before Christmas. If you want to do it,
100%.
You know what, Avi?
Avi,
Avi, you're coming to the UK soon as well. Ben, make sure you're available, because we all need to be in the studio for a watch along. That is gonna be good.
By the way, Ben,
guys, and also, please, I have to mention it.
And then Avi's buying the Indian.
100% it will be on me. Ibrahim, I'll buy the bottle as well, Ben, for me and you.
you too.
Ibrahima Konate, Champions League on Tuesday. Yesterday as well. Superb. So I just want to mention that. If I'm gonna give it, and they start performing, I've got to take it as well. So Ibu Konate, very well done.
Ribbit.
Panther is fine again. Before we go, Isak is a transition guy. He needs someone to fulfill his urge of wanting to receive the passes What have you turned to taking it off?
That's Avi, isn't it?
No.
AKA Wharton. He isn't a Haaland who can just occupy the box and play for headers, scraps, etc. I'm gonna have to wait to see how Alexander Isak is gonna fit for Liverpool. I'm still waiting to see what happens with Alexander Isak, guys. I'll be honest, I'm still nowhere near sold. He's been nowhere near good enough at Liverpool Football Club this season. I hope, with Florian Wirtz, Asim.
Do you believe?
Asim, now this is the question. With Florian Wirtz, look, I gave him a 3. But I still believe in him. I've seen glimpses, like Ben mentioned earlier. You've seen touches, and you think, you know what, man will do it. With Alexander Isak, I am not sold right now. And one of the main reasons why I'm not sold is not because of him. I think Ekitike is our 9. I think we can't move away from Ekitike right now. It's very difficult. How can anybody leave him out? You imagine leaving that Ekitike for the next game or two. Isak comes in, done nothing. Bro, we're going to go. Me and you are going to be sat on here absolutely blasting the manager. Think, why have you left Ekitike out? You've got a guy that's fit and fine, but a guy that hasn't done jack so far. And the longer it goes, the longer this is going to pursue, and the more pressure it will, the more pressure on Isak. People are saying, you know what, he will play both. Yes, he probably will play both, especially with Salah at AFCON. And maybe that is going to be his chance and time to shine. Because if this guy doesn't shine in the next 4 weeks, Asim, I genuinely believe the writing's on the wall already. Not kick him out. No. Kick him out. I'm sorry, maybe I'm a bit harsh. Not kick him out. But what I mean is, man's going to struggle.
Just blew up there, Gene.
Huh?
Internet's just blew up there when you said the writing's on the wall.
I should have said
writing on the wall. That for tomorrow morning.
Right. No. I should have said writing on the wall. But what I mean
socials.
is, there's a guy that's number 9 that's fighting us him. If the guy doesn't do it in the next 4 to 5 weeks, then what?
We need to.
Yeah.
And we sign a Semenyo. Salah comes back.
Or a Jacob
फिर क्या
Murphy.
कर सी है?
It's right, Ash. Tell you how it is.
Ash is right.
I think we're 2 wingers away from seeing the best Alexander Isak because the system doesn't suit him at the moment, and he needs to get fit, as Asim said. He needs to get his body fit. He needs to get himself right, but our system doesn't suit him at the moment. It needs 2 out-and-out wingers to fuel him and to service him, and we're probably 2 midfielders away from the perfect Wirtz as well. But this is the thing about the transition. This is phase 1 of the new team.
You know,
there's probably still another 2 windows before we see the final jigsaw. If we do ever get to see the final jigsaw,
do you know what you do? I was talking to someone. Do you know what I got told last week?
Go on.
Liverpool still remain genuinely interested in Anthony Gordon.
Damn right they do. I know that as well.
Genuinely interested. Obviously, more difficult now.
I think he moved. But you know, is he injured? He didn't play today, did he? I didn't watch the game.
He's not there though. He's not there, and he's not there mentally.
He played today. He played today.
Yeah.
I just saw the last 10 minutes of it because I caught the end of it, and I saw Harvey Barnes playing from that side, and Wissa. I didn't see Gordon, so I wasn't...
You know what? Rayan says Gordon is better than Gakpo. I think it's not a high bar, but he is. But the reason why I mentioned
he's better for Isak.
That's why I mentioned it. That's why I mentioned it.
That's the key.
But is he the only winger that's going to be good for Isak? I'm a Gordon fan here.
Well, we're bringing Semenyo for Kirkes, so we need Gordon for Isak. Anyone else? Murphy as well. Sit on the bench. Yeah, man. It's but I agree. Look, it pains me to say, like, I think we're gonna see the best of Wirtz and Isak post Salah's Liverpool career.
100%.
But Salah's got nothing to do with over the next 5 weeks when he's not here.
Next 5 weeks, I don't know, man. Yeah, you're right.
But it's not the long-term plan, is it?
Something now. At least we need to win the next 4, and the 3 or 4 games that we've got. You know, we should win them.
But I think if you look at it, man. Isak's never played more than 35 games in his career in a season. Yeah. We play on average 60 games a season. So I think the reality is you're never, ever going to go through a season with Isak or Ekitike because you just don't. You need that flexibility. You need that rotation. I think the long-term plan is 60-30s or like a run of games for one or a run of games for another. Occasionally play together, but generally speaking, there needs to be an options. And I think they thought Isak will be the leading man, and Ekitike will be a brilliant deputy.
And look, I'm not blaming at all. I'm not blaming Salah. But sometimes when you've got so many stars, which star do you build the team around?
Exactly.
That's what it is, isn't it?
People think like, oh yeah, if we had 3 Kevin De Bruynes in the same team, then City would just be 10 times better. But they wouldn't because everything goes through your main men. And that's why they have big numbers.
And Ben, the irony is, as great as KDB is, Guardiola sacrificed him in so many ways on the big day. So many days, so many times where he played him as he didn't trust him effectively. Just like Benitez didn't trust Gerrard in midfield. And you played him outright. You played him in the number 10. As great as he was, he talks about him in interviews as well because he didn't think he had the discipline. And in same ways, like when you got so many stars, and that's why Salah especially talked about it in the preseason where he saw likes of Nunes and Diaz and Trent leave, who made him great, but also protected him off the ball and gave him a foundation. It's all about giving your star players a foundation. But in this league, such a powerful league, and the physicality that we've seen on a week-to-week basis, how many foundations are you going to provide? That's the problem.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. And very difficult. Very difficult.
I think that's it, boys, for the show, man. I think we've been going 1 hour 43 minutes today, man. Wow. I think that's one of the longest shows that we've done for a while, guys. Guys, make sure you smash that. Yeah, because I'm hosting, innit, Asim?
You should host.
I prepared for this show, and look, it has been a banging show,
What is it? You You prepared?
Yeah, I asked ChatGPT to give me a few questions, and look, I smashed it out. Oh shit, super chat. Here we go. I missed one.
Big up, Ash. Big up.
Yeah, big up.
By the way, a lot of people are asking about Barcola. I'm not gonna lie, Gene. I've not heard anything. Rehan was asking me today any names that you've heard. Barcola was getting mentioned in the chat. A few people have messaged me on Twitter. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've not heard anything about Barcola. The only thing we heard was last summer, where he kept on getting linked, and it was either Isak or Barcola / Semenyo. And if I'm honest, if you want my opinion so far, I think, if I'm really honest, I think Barcola is second to someone like Semenyo. I think Liverpool will see Semenyo, the deal Semenyo is, one, he's in Premier League, 2, is easier to deal with, 3, it's an easy deal to make because of the 65 million clause. Wages. PSG still seem as not indispensable, but a young talent that's got a future, a bright future at the club as well. So Due is nowhere to Pulijao. He's not. He ain't coming. So
No chance.
He's a player that we admire, but I don't see like concrete interest in him at the moment.
Big up Don Juan. Asim, do you think Lamine Kamara could do a job in our midfield as an alternative to Wharton Anderson?
Lamine Kamara, I think Avi was. I don't know if you guys watch him. I saw. I think it was a comp where he recently played against PSG, and he looked really good. But I'm not gonna say where I watched a lot of him. I'm not gonna wing it where I say, look, I'm watching more than Wharton Anderson. A lot of people that do watch him think he's really, really good. He can get about the pitch and stuff like that. But I want a bit of natural presence in the middle of the park, Gene. And I think Alex was saying it. Look, Kante was 5'4", whatever it was, but there are exceptions in football and everything as well. So, look, Lamine Kamara, I think it would be a cheaper option, but I think Liverpool have got their eyes on either Wharton or Anderson. If I'm really honest,
Ben Ash
this is genius. This.
Yeah. He goes, Ben Ash goes, we need Gay and Bastoni to unlock the 6 Wharton to unlock words. Unlock Semenyo and Barcola, who unlocks each. Quite simple. Oh, Ash, you know what? You made my day, man.
That's the comment on
should give you £20, man. We should give you 20 quid for this one. Anyone got 400 million? Ben?
Wait on, I need to take a picture of that.
It does make you laugh, doesn't it? When you think about to me, that just jumps out and makes me realise how unbelievable Jurgen Klopp was, because he never got any of those superstars, really, did he? He found gems for next to nothing and turned them into superstars. So it just shows you how difficult it is to do. And I think that's the thing with Slot. I think if you do give him the right tools, then he's a smart enough and good enough manager to be able to make the most out of him. But I think to get anywhere near the level that we want to see, then we're probably going to have another 2 or 3 windows before we get close to it. The obvious question is, if we don't, rapidly improve over the next 12, 18 months, will he even get that opportunity? And will they, cut the losses and go in a different direction? But yeah, I still think we're 5, 6 players away from the final picture.
I think, Gene, just to finish off on this, Asim, do you think we do business in Jan? We've answered this on a day-to-day basis at the moment. Every show we're sort of changing our opinions. I said today that Liverpool will surprise us in January, and I think Liverpool will strengthen despite what the journals are saying.
Okay, guys, I'm done, mate. Guys, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. Honestly, it's been an unbelievable show. I've really, really enjoyed it. You know what? I know I'm going to get a load of shit on.
One more.
For fuck's sake, Banter, you're going to get it from me one day, man. These last minute super chats you always put in. Papa Gaze, another
super chats are fine.
I know, but
it's the banter.
I'm always about to go, and he always.
Who the hell is this guy? Do you guys know him?
I don't know who he is.
Ben?
No idea. No idea.
Papa Gaze, another.
I thought he was taking a piss, and he was on about like an old player. I've never heard of him.
I don't
Wasn't
know
there a Papa Gay? It was a Gay. Didn't he play for Newcastle? No.
Papa Cisse.
That's
Oh, Papa
Cisse.
Cisse, that's the one. Papa
I
Yeah.
don't
Cisse.
even know who he is, Banter. I'll be honest with you.
Papa
And yeah,
Cisse.
you know
No
what?
idea, mate.
And I know I'm
Sure
gonna.
he's good.
And he goes, Gene, you lost it. Look, I know I'm gonna get people come for me for this in the comments after this show. I'll be straight. I know I am.
Oh,
But
you got
genuinely
plenty
believe
of
that
people
he's
supporting
been
you.
very, very underwhelming. And if your barometer is average 4, 5, and 6, and somebody's below average, what is there? 4 and 3, isn't there? So what's the issue?
Yeah, and again, I think everyone needs to remember that what Gene giving him 3 out of 10, it can also be very complimentary in a way because he's expecting so much more, and if he's doing
This
that
is the
now,
guy I
then
wanted more than
we've got
anyone.
this world player on our hands here.
Yeah. So no, I hope you
Can I
know.
ask you both a question now?
Okay, here we go.
With the benefit,
Go for it.
2 questions. One will end up with
Of hindsight,
yeah, benefit of hindsight. Right now, knowing the imbalance of the team, the lack of legs, the lack of physicality, and all those sort of things. If I said to you, you've got 100 million right now, you had to give Florian Wirtz back to Leverkusen, and you pay Aston Villa for Morgan Rogers, would you say yes? Or would you say no?
do you want to go first, Gene, or do you want me to?
No, you go first because I'm gonna get banned.
Chat, get involved.
My answer's categorically no, because I think Florian Wirtz's ceiling is
Plenty of those.
unlimited.
Okay.
I think Morgan Rogers is a great player, by the way, and I'd love him at Liverpool. But I think Florian Wirtz can be like a genuine world-class player for us. Given the right
I'm honest with
scenario.
you, Morgan Rogers has been brilliant, but I can't go against a player who I wanted 6 months before we signed him. If there was one player I wanted in world football, it was Florian Wirtz. I can't give up on him after fucking 3 months, can I? He might be shit, might have been 3 out of 10, but I'm not going to give up on him because I know he's going to come good.
Imagine if Arsenal had
Okay,
give up
will
on
you?
Bergkamp after 6 months.
No.
Okay.
I think Morgan Rogers has gone up a level this season.
Oh, 100% he's gone up a level.
I've got a
100%.
counter question,
Morgan Rogers is an unbelievable footballer, man.
I've got
But
a
you know what I
counter
would
question.
say, right now, I think Morgan Rogers would do better than Florian Wirtz.
And he is.
All right, yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
I mean,
but
in the 10,
I've got another counter question.
Yeah, because of what he could provide in terms of feeling contact and carrying the ball for us and transition threat. He's performing better. He's got experience in the league. But Florian Wirtz long term, I wouldn't swap him. No.
If here's a counter one, given the benefits of hindsight, as the fact that what your impression of Ekitike was before we signed him, and what your impression of is now, and from and what his potential is, if someone offered you your 130 million back for Isak in the January window, and you could go buy 2 midfielders, you'd say yes.
Look at Gene.
What time if you answer? And you fucking better not bottle this.
You know
I'm gonna
what?
say yes.
Wow. Look at that. Tway says I'm doing it. Slot Ali's doing it. Is it because of what Ekitike has done, not just on what Isak has done? Okay.
Yes, I think
understand
it is. Yeah.
that.
Because I think we're going to have an issue where Ekitike will outgrow being a squad member, like Alvarez a little bit at Manchester City. And you could sell him for big money, maybe in 12, 18 months. But you think to yourself, you're probably not going to get 130 million back for Isak.
Look at Gene. Look at their comments. Look at him.
Listen, I know my
Look at
answer.
him.
I don't
Look at him.
I don't even know the. I don't even need to think this long. Are you thinking? I don't know why you're taking 3 hours to think about it.
I know, but I want the guy to bang.
You have
I agree with
on
Ben.
the count of 3, you both have to say your answer at the same time.
Right now, with the benefit of hindsight, yes.
My answer is Hugo Ekitike. That's my answer, man. Hugo Ekitike. Listen, no, come on, man. Look, we have to.
I know.
I don't like these questions, man, because inshallah, God willing, man's gonna start banging them in next week from next week onwards. I hate these questions, but inshallah, the man, you're good.
One more question.
Good entertainment, though.
One more question.
You're getting some special bonus material tonight, chat. You best be liking the show.
We're sorry we had to make you wait 1 hour 54 minutes.
Salah
Our
only
title,
got
our title today is Salah's leaving message. So that's my question to you boys. What was the King's message? For me, it wasn't a goodbye, but it was, and it wasn't, I'm staying. I think it was, we'll see what happens.
I agree.
completely agree.
Yeah.
Okay, that's that then, Shane.
Completely agree. He covered his back. You know what? I went. But if you had a choice,
Oh, here we
one
go.
way or the other, but then you
Here
give
we
it.
go.
If
We're
you
all
had
in
a
it now.
choice,
Are we getting into the 100 million?
no. You have to say staying or going. Jan,
Okay.
In Jan,
I think he
going
goes.
for me.
eh?
I think he goes.
Going. What do you think, Gene?
I think he stays. Now I think he's staying. Just get this little feeling, you know what? They'll. And then, but you know what? The next 4 weeks, if Alexander Isak isn't doing it, my man's 100% staying.
That might be a big factor.
I'm telling you now, is Alexander Isak doesn't
Yeah.
pull his finger out over the next 4 weeks in January, and we're sat on the fit when Mo Salah comes back and nothing's happening with Isak, yeah, and we're relying on Ekitike, bro, man has to stay because
Yeah.
then you're talking top 4.
But I think Liverpool have
We've
played
got a little opportunity as well the next few weeks where we've got a week in between games, haven't we?
Yes.
So there's really no excuse not to be able to get the lads who we've got there now is peak fitness and as efficient as possible.
I think we'll get a bid for Mohamed Salah at the very least in January from a Saudi
Yeah, I
club.
agree.
They will test our resolve now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm done. Don't send no super chats because I'm not
Brilliant.
going to put them up. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. We will be going tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, so do join us.
Sorry, Gene. There's one already come through
Oh wow.
just for you.
You
I
know.
just gave you, you know what? This is why I sang it, man. And no wonder
Yeah.
this was there at the start of the Gina, give us a song. I just give you the Hugo Ekitike song, man. Gene's boy
Go
with
on.
another brace, 10 out of 12 points. Like you said, 3 out of 12 minimum. Guys, we have to go and try and get the next. If we can get 9, yeah, then at least we know, inshallah, Champions League is done. We can go hard in January. And then let's, you know what? See where we're at, see what happens, and go hard. And hopefully we can make a run for number 7. But guys, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. We will be live 10 o'clock tomorrow. So make sure all of you tune in and join us. And we will all see you tomorrow. Take care. Fuck off. I ain't doing no one's more super chat. Who's super chat?
Smash the like, people, man. Smash the
No,
like.
he's pulling a chain. There's not.
Anyway, guys, over and out.